Info Live TV encounters a sensational Israeli artist, Menaché Kadishman. Menaché Kadishman, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
Info Live TV is particularly honored to be able to encounter you and to ask you some questions today. Although recognized primarily as a sculptor, you're an artist whose artistic expressions are not restricted to a sole medium. You also paint. You have actually right now an exhibition going on in Tel Aviv.
This is the Museum of Art. Musée d'Art Moderne Tel Aviv, if you can say it, I don't know.
Is there a particular message in your work in general?
What particular message? It's about love, but it's something very difficult as we see the world. So in the art, it's a language. We are talking with words, and in the art we are talking with forms and colors and shape. So, and the message becomes, in order to understand the message, we are talking with words, but the message is about beauty, about gravitation, about forms, about rejecting the history, about trying to be something special. But for me, all this thing was easy because I think people are born they can do many things, and I think I was born to paint and to do sculpture.
Each exhibition is unique to the host country, as the work is installed to suit the surrounding of it. Is there any particularity that you would like to tell us about the exhibition here in Tel Aviv today?
Today's exhibition, which is actually like a retrospective, not completely, but in a way, for the last 50 years of my work. I'm today 73, and I worked from the beginning, but let's say I call it only when I became about 20.
One of the symbols of your work is the lamp. Have you read The Little Prince of Saint-Exupéry?
Yes, Saint-Exupéry, I like it.
Were you ever inspired?
It would be nice to say yes, but you're inspired from everything you do. Mm-hmm. Or you read, or you feel, or you hear. But when we were working in the 60s, I was a student in London. I wanted to go actually to Paris then to study.
You were in St. Martin's College.
St. Martin's School, yes. And but England was a center of sculpture there, with Henry Moore, with Anthony Caro started, and with Chadwick, Barbara Hepworth and Armitage. They were kind of the big art sculptors in the world. And I wanted to go to Paris. People told me, go to London. That's where the thing happens now. So I went. And I went to London in 1959. And since then things happened to me. And but then I realized that coming from a small country, you're coming to a big country, there is a lot of influence. And people were doing, which is normal, which is good. But people were doing things like, and then things are changing, minimal art, conceptual art, nature art, and things like that. And I say to myself, why should I work like an American artist who makes Coca-Cola? Mm-hmm. I have my own history. I work with my history. And my history was that as a typical Israeli boy who grew up in this country, my parents came from Russia after the revolution, and they came to Israel, and they were pioneers and things like that. And the idea was to grow a new society, a home for the Jewish people, especially after the Second World War. My education was for the people. And we went to live in a kibbutz. And in the kibbutz I was a shepherd. I worked with the mouton. Mm-hmm. And but when I was walking on the mountains, I thought of the Bible. I thought that all the old parents like Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, they were all shepherds. And I felt I'm continuing the life of the history. Mm-hmm. Instead, like Andy Warhol made Campbell soup, and Jasper Johns made Coca-Cola. And I thought I'll make the sheep. This is my life. Mm-hmm. And then in 1978, I was representing Israel in Venice Biennale. And I brought a group of sheep as alive, nature as art. And I brought live sheep as art. Mm-hmm. And it was a big sensation then in Venice, and everybody was crazy about it. I was doing only sculpture there till then. But after this, they invited me to do prints. Gravure, how do you call it in French? And then I started to paint, like to make prints and things like that. And I began to enjoy to paint. And I started to paint, and I made sheep, because I was doing the sheep in Venice.
Could you tell us about this friend of yours that is gone?
I tell you, in 1978 I met Pierre Estany, a great historian, great prophet of modern art, and his wife Jojo. And I've never met a man like him before. Full of enthusiasm, full of intellect, full of invention, full of life and joy of life. And later he wrote a book about my work. Mm-hmm. I met President Jacques Chirac, who was the mayor of Paris, and he came to my exhibition and he liked it a lot. And I met UNESCO, the writer who lived in Paris, and he liked it. I was doing the sheep the first time maybe, and he came and he liked their eyes. He said they're like human beings.
Exactly.
And they're sad. And I'm tired, he said, I'm going home. That was his message. And it was very beautiful. And I like to go to Paris again. I got the sculpture prize in Paris Biennale in 1967, de la Ville de Paris. And I met there André Malraux, who was the Minister of Culture. There's a big political message in my work.
Okay.
But it doesn't have to be a placard. And look what people are doing to themselves. They're thinking all the time how to hurt each other instead of loving each other, or just to live in peace. The Ten Commandments, they They don't have to make a modern renovation, because those are ideas of what it is. Give respect, don't kill, love each other, and things like that.
Well, Menaché Kadishman, thank you very much for giving us in InfoLife TV this opportunity to meet you in person. Thank you, and keep on working and creating.
Thank you for respecting me.
Thank you.